Do you guys ever have like themes in your life um, that it just keeps popping up no matter where you turn? That's basically what happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and it has to deal with this filter, aliens. So, first off, excuse the stuffy sounding voice. I am congested, I am sick, and if it's choppy, I'm probably tending to the leakage. So I have three things that I want to talk about. One of them happened in high school, but it does tie into the next two that happened that week that I was talking about, where just everywhere I turned happened to be in sync with the content creators I follow were on. So it was pretty cool to see that we were all on the same um, frequency, for lack of a better term. So the first story is of me and my dream I had in high school all through the 4 years there. I don't know why, and don't tell me it surely couldn't have happened all those 4 years. It did, but it was it's odd because like in my dream when I would go to sleep, it would like play a snippet and then stop, and then when I wake up, do my thing, go to sleep, it was like start from the beginning, play a little bit further, stop, and yada yada until it went all the way through. So the story was this. Um, I am always in my dream, like I've always wanted to be like the savior, like a superhero. Just the world we live in is so cruel, and I've always wanted to be a superhero growing up. So in my dreams, I usually am that. And I remember being told from the skies that there's gonna be a big event happening, and yes, it's apocalyptic, but also know that it has to be done, and this is what you gotta do. And so, the things that were talking to me were the beings from like outer space, not necessarily aliens like that we are used to seeing, but aliens. Um, how do I explain? So it's like, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of supernatural paranormal stuff. If you are here, you probably do. But anyways, they do say that when you are a medium or a clairvoyant, you get things telepathically said to you. It's as best as I could put it, like when you're listening to the radio, and you catch something, kind of like that, or when somebody tells you a story, and or you watch a movie and you replay it in your head. It's in your voice, but also not. Like you can tell. Excuse the alert. Um, so it's up above, and I remember always looking out there, and I do it in real life too. Like I love looking up at the skies. It's just so pretty. But I remember all of a sudden like seeing those things up there, and it wasn't like the UFOs. It was more so like, you know how neurons look like in your brain, like lights and like the weird shapes. That's how it would look like. And then they would say stuff like, "Hey, keep an eye out or ear out, I should say, for more messages to come." And throughout the whole play of this dream was, okay, this is your job, this is what you gotta do, this is what your family's gotta do if you want them to survive, if they want to live, yada yada. Um, I basically was given the task of going up a certain mountain all the way to the top. I don't know what, I don't remember having anything on me. I think it was just me. Like, I had to get to the top, and my family had to get to the top of another one. just to get out of the way, out of safety, because there was going to be a flood, and we don't live anywhere near ocean that close that could do like a tsunami thing on land. So I remember it being weird, but just like going with it. And so that's ended up what happening towards further into the dream, where it was just getting chaotic with like the people finally like being like, oh yeah, something's weird, something's up, but going on like any other day. And so like any other day, I wake up in my dream. I know, right? Like I'm asleep in my dream, but I wake up. I know, weird. But I wake up like any other day, and there's like nothing in the sky. It's like really cloudy, beautiful. It's my favorite type of weather, cloud, and where it's just like shady everywhere. And I remember looking up like, okay, nothing, no messages today, I guess. But then loud, like in the, I don't know how to describe it, because it's like, again, a dream, but also I've seen it and heard it with my own ears with supernatural stories that I'll talk about sometime in the future, where it's like you hear something and it's like not necessarily in front of you, but like it is, but it isn't. Like you can hear it, but you don't see it. That's how it was. Like, but it was in the sky. It was booming. It was loud. It was like a huge trumpet. Not necessarily the trumpet pitch, but not the trumpet. It was just like a huge like brrr, like throb, like vibrating one note, like alert. And you knew, you were just like, damn it, it's starting. So my panic started setting in of like, shit, my family has to go now. And I remember telling them, like, see, I wasn't kidding. I told you. Do you guys remember what I said? I remember looking at, I think it was like my little sister or something, and being really emotional and like, all right, it's time to go. Let's go, go, go. Don't look back. Whatever you do, don't look back. Keep going forward. Eyes on the prize, on the whole spiel. And I remember her being like, what about you? And sometimes I get emotional saying it, but I think I got it right now. So I remember parting ways with them and being like, I can't. I gotta go my way. But go up there and you'll be safe and out of harm's way. And sure enough, they start booking it because you see like and hear a huge flood, like wave crashing in. And so people are screaming and everything. It's just all chaotic. And it was chaotic to begin with, but it was even chaotic now because people finally were like just getting their asses handed to them, basically. And so I remember being told, like, okay, go, like, go. So I started booking it, and I started running up the mountain. And of course, I do the same thing that I tell my family, I don't look back. I can hear and feel things whooshing by left and right. I can hear the people screaming, like, really, really loud, like in pain or in fear, all of it, actually. And it's weird because I can see these black, like, wispy masses of, like, creatures. And I'm like, obviously those are the bad ones, and they're right at my tail, so don't get caught. So I'm hauling ass up to the top of the mountain while everything's literally crashing down around me, and all I'm thinking of is don't let them get you, get to the top. I'm not even thinking of family at this point. I'm like, I already told them they'll be safe, they're fine. And I can hear them and feel them nipping at me, like barely within like fingertips distance of like me, like whooshing like away from them. And I remember getting to the top and everything goes completely blank, like pitch black, like if the scene's cut, and it's just noise, and all I can hear is people screaming, crying, the crashing, the thundering, and at the same time too, there was like, while we were doing what we gotta do here on Earth, in the skies within our visible eyes and realm, we could see them fighting as well. And I guess that's why also people were in disbelief, because it was just like the, for lack of a better word, that's what they are. The aliens were there. They were making themselves known and appear. But what is interesting to note is that they were fighting their own battles up top while we were doing it down here. But they were the ones communicating with us on what to do for our betterment. And if you listen, cool. If not, too bad. We told you what to, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And so I found that interesting looking back on it. But going back to the dream, so I hear the chaos, but I see nothing. And then slowly but surely everything just goes quiet, which is really eerie. And again, yes, this is happening in my dreams. Like the whole high school year. So, when I wake up again, I'm like tired and groggy and stumbling on the rocks to get up off my knees. And I'm slowly looking around. And this whole time it was just like the soothing sounds of like waves, like the ocean, like yeah, like waterfall. And so I'm looking around and I'm like noticing that me being on the very top of the mountain, and the mountain's like almost black. It's like, I don't know. So I'm looking down at the land and I notice that it's so beautiful. It's green everywhere. It's lush, vibrant. It's fresh. It's quiet. Not a single human being on a man-made structure standing at all. And that's when I start to freak out and realize that I'm all alone. So I start freaking out and I'm crying. And as I'm still like trying to get off my feet, I'm like feeling the soreness of my body. And then I'm like heavy and I'm like, damn, like my back really hurts. Like this sucks. Like, why am I by myself? And I start doing this and then I'm like, oh shit. I'm not religious, but in my dream I had wings. They were white, they were huge, they were beautiful. And I'm being helped up. And then I realize I'm not alone. It's another guy like me with his wings. And he's just telling me, calming me down, like, you did it, like hugging me, like you did it, like thank you and good job, like all the best words, feelings I could describe, he was giving me. And I remember looking at him and being like, one, like, who are you? And two, what are we? What's going on? What's happening? And then I'm hearing the waves, the waterfall getting louder and louder to my other side, to my right, to my left. Because when I got up, I felt him on my right. Anyways, so I hear it getting louder and I look, and the waves, or the waterfall, like the white foam, is getting closer. But it wasn't foam. It was people all in white robes clapping at me, for me, and applauding that what I did worked and what I did helped the earth. And I was still left like, what about the people? What about my family? What about me? Like, I'm all alone. And I start crying and I'm looking at the crowd because I don't see them. And I start crying even harder. But then they tell me to look, oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I'm self-diagnosed. But anyways, I forgot to tell you. You know how I was telling you earlier about the whole fact that the aliens were fighting up here? When the trumpet or whatever it was blared, it was like, it was cool, like cool and eerie and scary and terrifying. It was everything. But I remember when it blared and I was like, oh fuck, and I looked up, I could see them, like the little neuron looking thingies, the lights, start like flaming even more. And then they started really going off like fireworks, like boom, boom. It was like a fight in the sky. And since it was cloudy, like I said, the lights were emanating from and behind the clouds. So it looked really cool and just, it was epic. That's what it was. Cause now I'm gonna go fast forward to two. Sorry if I left you on a cliffhanger, but that's what I was getting to. Oh my god, I feel so dumb. So in my opinion, I think we're just shitty. We're just a shitty society, and they were trying to help us steer us in the right path. And basically they had to intervene, but that there were others like them trying. Again, there's always a balance, there's always a light and dark, there's always a positive and negative. So I feel like that they had their own shit to deal with too, but whatever they were blocking, they were also trying to help us, and they also had people like me and others, other types, helping here on the earth, if that makes sense. Okay, now for the second thing that I thought was interesting in that 1 week, that everything was just alien themed. So the second thing is from Project Fears. I'm looking at it. So New Jersey drones, our 72-hour investigation. That video, like a lot of other videos of the supernatural, looks like it could be faked, but again, we're just, as a skeptical believer, you just take everything in with a grain of salt. But I remember he's talking about the fact that there's certain videos that he hasn't seen out there in the media or social media in general, and he points to a particular one where he actually sits down and is like, all right, this is by far the craziest thing I've seen. And I'll show you right now. It's gonna be me recording the TV with YouTube, because I have no editing skills whatsoever. If you guys have any tips and tricks, leave them down below, because your girl can get some help. But anyways, here it is.
So I'm going to talk to you guys about something freaky. And this is something that I have seen no one else talk about. I had to do a ton of research just to connect these dots. This is the scariest sighting I've seen. So back when this all started, when the videos started circulating, there was one video that I absolutely had no idea how it was possible.
No, there's red lights and a blue light, and then they were...
The 3 balls of light suddenly disappear. Then they call out that a plane is about to pass right by. I don't know.
I'm waiting for it to light up again, because a plane just flew past it. See, what the fuck? Oh, those fire... What? What just happened?
What is going on?
What is that shit? What? When did those turn into fireworks? I'm so confused.
I have PTSD. Like, for real. When I saw that, I was like, don't tell me. Like, it's just the beginning stages of my dream. You know what I mean? Like, my heart was like... And then yeah. Like, I actually, like, had chills when I saw that. I was like, no effing way. Like, I knew it. I knew it. But anyways, I thought that was so crazy, and again, it was like just right up my alley. I was just like, I knew it, this is so cool, but then I had to reel it in and be all humble, like, this is fake. No, there's no way. But again, aliens are way more advanced than us stupid humans. Now going on to third. I lied. So there's a second part to the Project Fear, where later on in the video, they talk about how in medieval times there were, sorry, like my brain doesn't catch with my mouth sometimes. There were depictions of beings from the skies, and they were in the shape, or they were lights, and these lights communicated to the people on Earth, and then that when they were fighting amongst themselves up here, it was basically for the good of the people down here.
Have you ever heard of the 1561 sky battle? There was a mass sighting of unexplained paranormal phenomena. There's a bunch of orbs all over the place. These all started to fight among themselves. And so the interpretation was that the Lord was very angry with the people.
Oh, you guys, did you see that drone? Just kidding, guys. It's just a Cessna.
This isn't the only time this happened. In 1566, in the town of Basel,
There are white orbs, but then also just black ones.
we saw large black spheres coming and going with great speed. They interpreted again as God was mad at them, and there was a judgment coming.
which is like my dream. And I thought that was so cool and surreal to see again, that what I've had experienced years before is the theme again for that 1 week that already passed. It was like 2 weeks ago. And now I can segue into the third. So the third is with Jack Osborne's channel called Ghosts and Grit. And if you don't know who he is, he's the son of the Prince of Darkness. Come on, Ozzy Osbourne. And he has a lot of cool stuff on his channel, from jiu-jitsu to the paranormal. I'm into all that stuff. He's basically like a brother from another mother. We're not related, but that's I basically vibe with what he does. And I vibe with Cindy Kaza, his guest in this video, who's a medium, psychic, and she's so gifted. I'm jealous, but also not, because I know how it is. I consider myself a clairvoyant. I'm not a medium. I can't tell you who your loved ones or what your loved ones have to say. I basically... Anyways, that's off tangent. Going off to his video called Spirit, Art, Alien Encounters, and Cindy Kaza's Journey Beyond. In the thumbnail, it has him and her with the text saying our spiritual journey.
Are we referring to like extraterrestrial, like
Oh,
what
I mean,
are we?
That's not even what I'm talking about. I hope they come. That'll make things
Okay,
better.
that'll be the better. Okay, yeah, that's how I feel.
Please, ET. That's crazy though, because in my meditations, I don't know if I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so you don't know this, but I was like, this is a crazy story. So Ian, my husband and I, we were in South Korea with his family for like a few weeks. So every day we went to the Buddhist temple just because they had chanting, and we would sit there and meditate. And so I was like going into these really deep meditations, and all of a sudden the aliens came in. I was like, what? I was like, the aliens are not like, I don't talk to aliens, right? Like I didn't. That wasn't really my thing. And they were like coming in hot. And I was like, oh no, this has got to be serious. Like, what is going on, right? And so I really, really felt like they were communicating. And then I was like reaching out to my other friends who are mediums, and I was like, oh, I had this really weird experience with aliens. And they're like, me too. And it was like this theme where lately a lot of people that are really connected to spirit have been feeling aliens. Like, what is going on with this, right? So it gets even weirder. So then I'm at this paranormal convention in Minnesota. It's Minnesota or Wisconsin? Anyway, it was like a really small paranormal convention. I had to do a talk. I did my talk. I go back to my booth, and this woman comes up to me. I don't know her, right? But she came up to me. She goes, can I ask you something? And I was like, yeah, sure. That's why I'm here. She goes, can we talk about the aliens? I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, I'm a medium too, and I was meditating, and the aliens told me to come talk to you about the aliens. I was like, what is happening?
Holy shit.
I was like, this is getting so weird. And then, I don't know, I just kind of like, it's been weird. I mean, it hasn't been so strong in the last like month or so, but I don't know, something's happening. It's happening.
There's a lot of people that do believe that it is spiritual in nature, like aliens are, not necessarily angels or demons, but something other than that. But they exist in a spiritual
It's within
realm.
the same sort of realm, right?
I mean, I believe that 100%. It's like, what the message I got was this, that people think that all of these aliens are coming in UFOs and these ships, and I was told that's not necessarily the case. A lot of it's going to be through telepathic messaging, and it's going to be very confusing for people because they're going to think they're losing their minds. Like, it's going to be some sort of a frequency that comes in that disrupts people, and they're not going to understand what is happening, right? It's not to say there aren't ships, because I think there's plenty of accounts that people have seen UFOs and all that stuff, but I don't think that's the only way that people are going to have these experiences. And so I thought that was an interesting message, right? Because everything really, at the end of the day, I think, is a frequency, it's a sound. So, I don't know, be ready for telepathic alien communication, 2027.
Just kind of slipping into my brainwaves. Spooky.
So aliens are coming in 2027.
I mean,
right?
they're already here.
Isn't
Let's
it?
face it. They're not.
It's true.
They're already here.
It's so true.
So yeah, we are all in agreement that something's up with that supernatural side, with the aliens and whatever's stirring on their end, and what is happening here on Earth, like the chaos. You already know, we're living through major events in history, and I feel like the aliens are also like keeping an eye on us too. I don't think they're all bad. Again, balance. Where there's good, there's bad. Same thing like us, like humans, animals. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to share it with you all, because who knows, maybe I might get that one person who felt outcasted or alone, different, like how I felt growing up, or somebody out there just needed that reassurance of like your message was correct. Keep at it. I was about to say stay low. My message was that I received was just wait. I've been waiting, but also yes, will do. So let's just all wait together, see what happens. Do your best, be your best, make good choices, don't be an ass. See you later.